The honey in your cupboard hides a disturbing secret. For thousands of years, honey was considered liquid gold, a remedy and preservative so powerful that 3,000-year-old honey was found in Egyptian tombs and was still edible. In the Middle Ages, surgeons treated open wounds with honey
and saw infections disappear that would otherwise have led to death.
Vikings took honey on long sea voyages because it never spoiled.
But today, you buy a jar at the supermarket,
and your body reacts with blood sugar spikes and inflammation.
Your immune system doesn't recognize it as healing anymore.
What has changed? The honey itself.
Modern honey is an industrial sugar product, stripped of its healing power.
In 1983, a research team in New Zealand conducted a remarkable study.
Commercial supermarket honey showed little to no antibacterial effect.
The traditional honey killed multi-resistant Staphylococcus bacteria.
So powerful that doctors began using medical honey in hospitals.
But this medical honey is not what you buy in the store.
It is cold-spun, never heated, and comes from specific plants.
Medieval honey was medical honey in every jar.
Before we continue, leave a comment.
Have you noticed it makes you tired or leaves you hungry?
What you're about to learn explains why.
The first and most crucial difference lies in the bees themselves.
Medieval bee colonies were wild or semi-wild.
The bees chose where to build their combs and how large the cells would be.
They decided when to swarm, with almost no human intervention.
The beekeeper protected the hive and removed only some combs once a year.
Modern beekeeping is the exact opposite.
Bees are forced into standardized frames that dictate cell size.
The queen is often artificially inseminated to produce specific traits.
Gentleness, high production, disease resistance.
This breeding has drastically reduced genetic diversity.
Medieval bees were robust, aggressive, and genetically diverse.
Modern bees die without sugar feeding, medication, and constant monitoring.
Medieval bees fed on whatever bloomed in their environment.
Wild flowers, herbs, trees, and shrubs.
A single medieval hive could collect nectar from over 200 plant species.
A single medieval hive could collect nectar from over 200 plant species.
The result was honey of incredible complexity. Enzymes like glucose oxidase created natural antibacterial effects.
This honey was alive.
Modern bees are often kept on monocultures.
Rapeseed, sunflowers, acacia, millions of identical plants.
The bees collect nectar from a single source.
The result is honey high in sugar, but almost no phytochemicals.
Many commercial beekeepers feed their bees sugar syrup.
The bees store this sugar mixed with real honey.
What you buy is a mixture bees should never have collected.
Medieval beekeepers always left enough honey for winter.
Modern beekeeping maximizes harvest and replaces food with substitutes. And
now we come to processing, where it gets disturbing.
Combs were crushed or cut and allowed to drip naturally.
No heat. No machines.
Crystallization was a sign of quality.
Modern honey begins with centrifugation. Then it is heated, sometimes to 80 degrees Celsius.
This heat destroys everything that makes honey valuable.
Vitamins and antioxidants break down.
Vitamins and antioxidants break down. What remains is sugar, biologically dead. Then comes ultrafiltration. The honey is pressed through microscopic filters that remove pollen. Pollen reveals where honey comes from, its region, even its valley. The industry removes pollen to hide adulteration and false origins. Real honey is diluted with rice syrup, corn syrup, or synthetic sugars. Pollen is one of honey's most nutrient-rich components. Removing pollen is like removing wheat from bread.
Medieval honey was stored in clay pots or wooden barrels.
These containers allowed honey to mature, like wine in a barrel. Enzymes continued working, and flavors became more complex.
Modern honey is stored in plastic or metal drums.
Plastic releases chemicals with hormonal effects. Metal can react with honey's natural acids.
Modern honey doesn't mature. It only degrades.
The health effects are massive.
Raw honey caused slow, steady blood sugar rise.
It killed bacteria in the mouth and throat. Medieval populations had significantly lower tooth decay.
Modern honey behaves like table sugar.
Rapid spike, insulin crash, hunger and fatigue.
Modern honey is often contaminated with pesticides.
Tests found glyphosate in over 70% of samples.
It destroys your gut microbiome.
You think you're eating something healthy.
But you may be slowly poisoning yourself.
Conditions. There is another aspect almost never discussed: local and seasonal honey.
Villages had linden honey in June, forest honey in July, heather honey in August.
Each honey tasted different and had different healing properties.
Linden honey soothed colds.
Forest honey helped digestion.
Heather honey was antiseptic and applied to wounds.
This knowledge was passed down through generations.
Today, you buy a jar labeled Blossom Honey.
A meaningless term, mixing honey from everywhere.
No orothen, no season, no tradition.
Science conforms this.
Medieval honey had over 300 aroma compounds. Modern honey has fewer than 60.
These compounds activate digestion and immunity.
Simple honey is treated as simple sugar. Medieval beekeeping was extensive and sustainable. Bees foraged widely with little competition. Harvests were modest, and half was left for the bees. Modern beekeeping is intensive.
Bees compete, spread disease, and weaken.
Yields rise, but bees are exhausted.
This is industrial exploitation.
Then comes colony collapse disorder.
The causes are complex.
But one factor is rarely mentioned.
Medieval bees had none of these problems.
Bee mortality is not natural.
If you want honey that heals, you must search consciously.
Buy raw, cold-spun honey from local beekeepers.
Ask if bees eat their own honey in winter.
real honey crystallizes.
Real honey has layers of flavor. Real honey has layers of flavor.
If it only tastes sweet, it's dead.
Or tile it further. Become a beekeeper. Medieval beekeeping is simple. Let honey drain naturally.
You may get less, but it will be more potent.
The medieval farmer was no primitive. He produced one of the most valuable foods in history. Honey preserved wounds, food, even human tissue. Warriors were preserved in hunnel for transport. Alexander the Great was allegedly embalmed in honey. That is the power of real honey. The modern honey industry traded this for profit and speed.
And you pay the price with disease and inflammation.
An immune system that no longer recognizes real food.
If you found this valuable,
we uncover knowledge the food industry would rather forget.